So you want to be an ACL pro? Well, we're a couple of pros ourselves. I'm Eric Tscherne.
I'm Matt Allen.
And we're going to show you today how to become an ACL pro and what that means. So what is a professional cornhole player?
Someone who's put in the time, the effort, and they had the commitment to make it through not only a long weekend of a high stakes cornhole tournament, but the entire season. Someone who's performed at a high level.
It's also somebody who's qualified, right? So if you want to be a professional cornhole player, no matter what organization you want to be in, you have to qualify. When someone asks the difference between being an ACL pro and an ACO pro, they are two different leagues, like same sport, minor differences between some of the rules. The ACL, who we represent, is probably the bigger of the two. Has a contract, multiple contracts with different media outlets, ESPN, CBS Sports, among others. For an average player out there, it may be a factor of which league is more prominent where you live, right? Because that's where you're going to start. You're going to start in, at night at a local blind draw, at a switch holio type of event, swap event, and whoever's running those events is probably going to be dominating your area and is going to be the group that you probably will come up through. So to become an ACL pro, you're going to have to meet a number of qualifications. The first way, if you're not already a pro, is to finish in the top 24 of open standings. So that is tournaments played all year, local tournaments, you have a maximum of 300 points. Regional tournaments, between singles and doubles, your top 5 finishes, you have a maximum total of 1,000 points. You add that up plus conference tournaments. That's when the best players in your area, usually multiple states, 2, 3, 4 states get together. Those conference tournaments and state tournaments at that level, I think there is a maximum of 600 points. We also didn't cover opens.
Yeah, opens are.
So there's an open level that you can play in. Those tournaments have a maximum of 400 points each. That's 800 total for your best open finishes. So the second way that you can become an ACL pro is through the pro qualifier. 32 individuals will survive the most grueling tournament. 840 participants. Less than 4% will make the pro field. That will bring the pro field up with those 32 plus the 24 from open standings to 56. And then we have the last chance qualifier.
We have last chance qualifier. So there's 14 ACL conferences throughout the country, and each conference will have their own pro qualifier after the first pro qualifier, and one lucky and good athlete will make it through from each conference.
So you've been sitting on your couch, you saw it on ESPN, you want to be an ACL pro. I told my wife years ago I wanted to be an ACL pro. It's harder than ever. You're going to have to get off that couch. You're going to have to go play your local events, your regional events, your conference events, if you want to have the points to qualify to play in many of these tournaments. So we've gotten there. We can tell you that there's a number of different things that go into being an ACL pro. There's certainly a time commitment. There are 5 national tournaments to go to. That doesn't include 8 potential pro shootouts to attend. X number of opens that you would like to attend. I think there are 14 opens this year, 16 opens.
16 opens this year, yeah.
So you have the potential to be traveling 14, 15, 16 weekends a year, 20 weekends a year. Some of these pros are out grinding weekend after weekend, playing somewhere, getting better. There's a cost to that. There's certainly a cost to that, right? The first thing that you're going to incur will be a $1,000 pro fee. When you think about that, that sounds like a huge amount of money, except you're playing all your pro events for free. So it's really $200 to play.
Yeah,
it's like $200 a weekend.
$200
so your pro fees, you get all that back. This year the prize pool is over $1 million.
Yeah, in addition to the pro fees, you're going to have a lot of your hotel expenses, airline tickets, gas, food, all that stuff. There's a lot that goes into it because you're going to be away from your jobs and your families, and that's obviously a big part of the commitment that you have to make to be a pro is not only time on the boards but time away from your family and loved ones. But
and those tournaments, that time away, it starts depending on where you live. It could start on Wednesday or Thursday. Right? So if there's a tournament, particularly if it's back east, I have to fly on Thursday morning to get in by Thursday night to be ready to play on Friday, right? So most of our pro tournaments are a Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. And if you're lucky, you can fly out on Sunday evening. And so you're flying out Thursday, coming home on Sunday. So that's talking about having Thursdays and Fridays off of work. That's 10 days off of work already. Most people get 2 weeks off. All your off time will be spent playing cornhole if you attend these tournaments.
Players are going to be paying for these expenses in different ways. A lot of people are going to choose to pay out of pocket, but most pros are going to have sponsors. You're going to have various, cornhole brand sponsors, local businesses that are wanting to see you succeed in your journey to become a pro, and also, have you represent their brand as someone who's a professional athlete and someone who potentially could get some airtime on TV.
If you are wanting to get sponsors, if you are wanting to make money in cornhole, it's not going to be only accomplished playing on the boards. The field is so deep and so strong, to win enough money in prize money to not work is not going to work out. You're going to need sponsors, so you're going to have to put together materials and get out there and be told no more times than you're told yes, to get those few sponsors who will give you that money that will help you offset some of these expenses, so that now all of a sudden this money is starting to roll up. You're going to have to figure out how to give them a return on investment. The reality is most of the players will not get to ESPN, so how are they valuable to their sponsors?
The ACL and your potential sponsors, especially cornhole companies, are looking to see if you're going to help grow the sport. Are you a good, you have good sportsmanship? Are you someone that is going to help not only bring in revenue and have a good ROI, but also help grow the sport in general?
One of the beauties of cornhole is you can be a professional athlete at almost any level. So you can be a middle-aged player, you can be a senior citizen, you can be a woman, you can be a young, up-and-coming professional cornhole player. The talent there is incredible. The sport is only going to get better as we start to find more and more players see the sport and experience the sport. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. It's been awesome working with the team at Cornhole Network to help you become a professional cornhole player. For Matt and I, thank you, and we hope to see you out there working on your game.